Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. The other day, a teacher at a daycare in Miami thought that it would be a very good idea to let the kids get dressed up for Black History Month. So what did she do? She put the little 2-year-olds in blackface. Then, the school decided, let's post this online because this is so cute. We gotta show everyone what we've done for Black History Month. Soon, the pictures of these kids running around the classroom looking like Al Jolson began circulating, and one of the black parents who has their kid enrolled in a daycare saw that pic and she was irate. She called the school and she spoke to the administrator, and the administrator was like, what's the problem? And the parent is like, the racism is the problem. And the administrator is like, what racism? And the parent's like, the blackface. Then the administrator had the nerve to say, quote unquote, in our school we don't use this word. Neither do we have this kind of mind. End quote. Listen, you don't have to use the word to be racist. You know why? Because you used the paint and you put it on those kids' faces. Now, the parent who originally contacted the school also said that in another classroom there were allegedly little babies in blackface. Oh my goodness. Well, after the incident got a little traction and people started finding out about it, the daycare responded by saying, quote, we have not intended to offend anyone, and we're very sorry about any inconvenience. End quote. Are you kidding me? An inconvenience is when I go to McDonald's and I order a coffee and they don't give me enough of those little sugar packets in my bag. You know, I need like 4, 5, 6. However, I think putting my kid in blackface is more than an inconvenience. Anyhow, after the school met with the parents, they issued another statement, and this one said, quote, we want to let all the parents know that we met on Friday afternoon with all the teachers and staff. We went over several ethical and multicultural education points. I will teach the team a class covering all the necessary topics regarding U.S. history and multicultural education. You may rest assured this will never happen again. End quote. Listen, let me tell you something. White people, and in this case, a few Latinos who want to identify as white, are starting to kill me. Because you guys can figure out a way to get to the moon, and you can get to Mars, but you can't figure out the basics when it comes to black people. We are not that complicated, and it's actually very simple if you read the instructions. The instruction manual for black people says 1, don't call them a ninja. 2, treat them with equity, which includes don't kill them in the streets. 3, you can't own them. And 4, don't put on blackface. Or try to put our babies in blackface. I mean, honestly, it's actually quite simple when you think about it. And I know somebody's gonna come in the comments and they're gonna be like, yo sis, you know it's more complicated than that. Yeah, it is. But you know what? We can't teach them the bus stop until they can get the 2-step. Once they get the rhythm, then we can move on to more advanced steps. And honestly, I gotta tell you, I'm so sick and tired of like the ignorance of people being like, I didn't know that was racist. Oh my goodness, if I had known that was racist, I would have never done it. Listen, what do you live under, a rock? I mean, you have never seen a news report where somebody in the past has gotten in trouble for putting on blackface? You have never seen anything like that in your entire existence? Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I am no longer accepting the I don't know excuse. Why? Because it's 2023 and these cats should know something by now. And speaking about stuff that you should know, the other day Rihanna posted a picture of her and A$AP Rocky's son online. And under the picture she wrote, quote unquote, my son is so fine. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. How crazy. Both of my babies were in these photos and mama had no clue. End quote. And after she did that, a whole bunch of people came in the comments and they were like, why are you calling your son fine? And one person was like, quote, who calls a baby fine? End quote. And Rihanna responded, quote unquote, his mother. Honestly, I don't even understand what's going on here. She posted a picture of her son. He's a mad cutie, and she called him fine. I don't understand why somebody has to come in the comments and say something. I mean, do you think that there's an age designation to when you can use the word fine? Like if he's 18 and over, he's fine. But if he's 17 and under, he's just cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're leaving a comment, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you're feeling any part of the content. Now check it out. In a recent interview with Forbes magazine, Missy Elliott called for more appreciation of female rappers. Missy said, quote, "Women have played a big part in what we call hip-hop in this culture. These women are my friends, and we don't just come together when it's time to perform. We speak on the phone and hang out around each other. I always think about how these are the same women that I looked up to and still do. They have kicked down the doors for all the women you see today in 2023. Even if the women that are out now may not be familiar with all their records, they have to know that these women are the reason they're able to be on many of these platforms." End quote. Listen, Missy is absolutely right. And even though like we hear about Salt and Pepper and Light and Latifah, Lauren, Kim and Foxy, there were a whole bunch of other females who did their thing in the rap game too. You got your Miss Melody, you got Bosch, you got Roxanne Shante, you got the real Roxanne, you got Lisa Left Eye Lopez, you got Moni Love, you got Rod Digger, Coco T, you got Jean Grey, you got The Brat, you got Trina, you got Eve, you got Yo-Yo, you got Lady of Rage, you got Rod Digger. I mean, you got a whole bunch of women who been on that scene rapping. And that's just to name a few, cause I know I left mad people out. You know what? Do me a favor and put the rappers that I left out in the comments. But with that being said, I think that Missy Elliott is right, and we gotta do a better job at celebrating the people who had an impact on our culture. I mean, the BET Awards and the Grammys and all of that is good and everything, but it's too commercial. It's not gonna celebrate the people like KRS and like Mobb Deep and like De La Soul that need to be celebrated. I think we're gonna have to come up with something, cause we gotta give our people the respect that they deserve. And talking about people who may not be getting the respect that they deserve, the other day, your man Jermaine Dupri was on the I Am Athlete podcast. And when he was talking about the fact that like people are trying to say he's no longer relevant, Jermaine Dupri said, quote, "I done heard ninjas say JD ain't relevant no more. I've had a hit record every year that you can think of. You just don't even realize it." End quote. JD went on to say, quote, "By the way, if you from the rap world and you listening to only trap music, then you gonna be like JD ain't make no music, cause you ain't listening to R&B music. You don't know." End quote. Listen, I don't know whether JD's been making hits or not. I just really don't know. But I think that might be a good thing, because unlike in the 90s where like JD and P. Diddy and all of these dudes who were doing the producing wanted to be all up in the videos dancing around and rapping on the track, and every time you heard the song you had to hear, "Bad Boy, come on," or "So Deaf." Now, most of the times we don't know who's doing the production, and I like it that way. But the real question is, do you like it that way? Or do you want your producers like JD and P. Diddy back, rapping on the tracks and dancing on the tracks and just like pushing the artist out of the way? Let me know in the comments. Now check it out, your boy Pharrell Williams was recently named the new men's creative fashion director for Louis Vuitton. This means that Pharrell is going to be taking over where Virgil Abloh left off. Listen, I'm extremely happy for Pharrell, but I feel like Louis is just like pressing too hard to try to get the black dollar. I mean, they see all this new money out here in the black community and they're just trying to get in them pockets. That's why I liked it the way it was like with Black Wall Street, when like the black dollar exchanged hands in the black community almost 14 times before it left the community. Now it's like we get the dollar from the white man and then like 45 seconds later, we give it back to the white man. And that's why the average household wealth for a black family in the United States averages to be like $14,000, while the average household wealth of a white family is $140,000. We gotta do better in trying to accrue our generational wealth. So you know what that means? Don't be out there trying to buy no Louis unless you can afford to buy the Louis. I mean, for me personally, I would rather have a Kate Spade wallet from Marshall's for like $19.99 that has like $5,000 in it than to have a Louis wallet that I paid $5,000 for that only has $19.99 in it. You know why? Because it's never wise to go broke trying to look rich. Now check it out. Your boy, NBA YoungBoy, recently did an interview in which he said he could tell how gangster a rapper is just by looking at they mama. When NBA was talking about if these rappers out here are real or if they're fake, NBA YoungBoy said, quote, Don't get me wrong, a lot of people you'll see today, oh, that's 100% who they is. I don't doubt it. A lot of these rappers today, half of them probably 100% who they is, but I guarantee you, bro, the majority of them, nah. It be like this, bruh. You look at these rappers' videos, you gonna see a gun in this video, right? You go to the next one, you see a gun in his video, right? You gotta dig a little deeper, bruh. Alright, now look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster, so how the F is he a gangster? That ish don't be adding up, bruh. End quote. Personally, I have seen some anomalies to NBA YoungBoy's theory, because I done seen some nice little church ladies who done spawned some demons. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think you can tell how gangster a dude is by looking at his mama? Let me know in the comments. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.